Ron Jetter here. This is part 5, the 4th task of grieving. And again, I hope you watched the introduction. The first task of grieving, coming to terms with the finality of the loss. The second task of grieving was wrestling with the emotions that come from a loss and a death. The third task of grieving, all of the daily activities that need to go into surviving, to building a workable, sustainable life. The fourth task of grieving then is essentially to review all the others. And again, these tasks of grieving are the work of William Worden, J. William Worden's Grief Therapy and Grief Counseling. The 5th edition is now available. You can Google it online. I had the 2nd edition underlined in almost every place. By the time I got to the 3rd, I thought, well, and then I had the 4th, so I went through 3 editions of it. Each time, Dr. Worden adds more of his wisdom. I can't recommend it enough, and I must give credit. I choose to look at his tasks as packing. Again, an existential reality has changed, forcing me to admit I can't live where I was. It doesn't exist. I have to live in a new place. And I don't fully know what that place looks like. Task 4 is moving on, relocating my loved one. And I've got all my bags packed here. I've got the bag that has all the stuff, the few mementos out of the hundreds and thousands of things that I could have taken, a few mementos to remember the loved ones I've lost. I've relocated them in a different place in my heart and in my mind, and I can find them anywhere. I don't have to go to a physical place. I don't have to have a shrine. The shrine can be deconstructed, the candles blown out, the picture put away. I'm ready now for new relationships, new friendships, whatever relationships. My emotions are under control. I may still feel sad, mad, glad, and scared, but I tend to know what the triggers of those emotions are. I have built a life that works. I have enough skills, a new skill set, or an enhanced skill set of the ones I had. There's activities I no longer do. I'm no longer interested. I no longer have time, but I've taken on some new ones. I've made some new friendships because of grief and loss as well. People who have been through similar kinds of things. So I'm ready to take my bags and walk into that future. The future will gradually unfold, but the closer I get, day by day, I see that future is full of opportunities I did not have before. Opportunities I would not have chosen, knowing that it meant that I had to experience a death of someone close to me. But because it has happened, now I am ready, and I can move into that future with a sense of confidence, with only a little bit of guilt, and I'll work through that too. I occasionally will feel guilty if I don't feel appropriately sad and think I'm betraying the memory of my loved one, and then I get angry at myself for feeling guilty and feel stupid at feeling angry at it. So that's still, but it's pretty small. The amplitude isn't huge, not a big wave picking me up and smashing me down. It's just a little one, kind of getting my knees wet when I'm not ready for the cold water yet. I've got what I need to walk into the future. I've got a new life, a new lifestyle. I may be ready to physically relocate if that's appropriate. I may be, as I say, ready to make on new relationships. For some people, that means ready for a new love interest, new car, new clothing. I may restyle myself. I may have new habits, new interests, and now I can begin exploring those. One of the things Worden says is that some people are tempted to short circuit the tasks of grief, to deny the grief, to deny packing and unpacking the bags, to not go through all those things, to not take anything, to say, nope, he or she is dead, that's it, I'm moving on, I'm just going to deal with the facts. And then to shut down the emotions, which can either make one emotionally stifled, and really that's not good for future relationships, or it can make one subject to emotional explosions that it's just a landmine waiting out there somewhere, and something's going to trigger it. Something will step on it, and there's going to be a mess to clean up. Or it means someone really doesn't have the skill set that they need, that they are not fully prepared. They're using and relying on others, and then when others suddenly disappear, all of a sudden there's this sense of unpreparedness and betrayal. Work through the tasks of grief. Let them take the time that they take, says Worden. Let them, like a slow simmer, like putting something in a crock pot. It's done when it's done. You can't rush it by adding more heat to it. Give it the time it needs. The task then is ready. The task 4 is done. You're ready to go on. You know where your loved one is, safe within your memories, that you can retrieve at any point, and that you're not betraying that loved one or their memories by having new people in your life, by having new interests in your life, by even perhaps relocating. It's just what you've chosen to do. Task 4, making the choices of what your new life looks like, having worked through tasks 1 through 3. Next, I'll talk about grief and the holidays.